Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rita. So for today we have one of those palettes that I really was not planning on purchasing. So we're gonna be doing a first impressions on the newest Patrick Ta palette. This is going to be the Major Dimension 2. So it's gonna be the more pinky, rosy tone hues, which if you're familiar with my channel, you probably know how much I love pink shadows. Before we get into the video, I would really appreciate it if you decide to subscribe. It is super easy. All you need to do is hit this little red button down here and be also sure to hit the little bell. I do post twice a week and that way you'll be notified. Patrick Ta just recently released his Major Dimension 2 eyeshadow palette, the more pinky hued palette. I wasn't expecting this palette at all. I feel like at this point almost every single brand has done a pink shadow, so I feel like the market is pretty highly saturated with pink shadows. That being said, it is saturated with any kind of makeup and all of the colors on the rainbow for palettes. But as a pink shadow lover like myself, when I saw it released, it literally felt right when the Sephora BIB started. So I was thinking, okay, I really don't need another pink shadow, but it is brand new from Patrick Ta, which I know the quality is going to be amazing. Just thinking about my first palette, and with a 20% off, I really couldn't say no. And this was the only fun item that I got from my Sephora BIB sale. I probably haven't posted the haul already, but it'll be probably after this one, so keep an eye out for that one. So since I was kind of just buying necessities from the Sephora sale and this palette was just released with a discount, I thought, why not? I know I'm gonna love it because I love Patrick Ta shadows and I love pink. So here is the box. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it properly as it is very reflective. This beautiful rose gold metallic shadow or box, I'm sorry. The only downside of the packaging, it is absolutely gorgeous, but it is going to be this material that gets fingerprints all over, very dirty very soon. But I mean, that is just the style of his products. That's just the component that he uses for all his products. So it is what it is. I really is a thing that doesn't bother me. I am just happy that I was able to grab it on the sale. So here's a quick look at the palette. It is very reflective, same as all his other packaging and the same format as his older Major Dimension 1. So it's gonna come with a row of shimmers and glittery shades and then two cream shadows which come protected with a little window plastic thingy so they don't get any of the powders, and then on the bottom you get a row of matte shadows. This palette retails for $68 plus taxes and it comes with 12 different shades, 2 being cream and then 5 matte and then 5 shimmering glittery shadows. So now let's go ahead and do some arm swatches of all the shades and then we'll move on with the eye look that I'm wearing today. It is very pink. It is very sparkly and it ended up being a little more smoky than I was intending at the beginning, but I really love it. So anyway, let's just get right into the swatches. Before we start with the makeup look, I want to show you real quick the palette without any swatching. So this is what it looks like brand new, straight out of the box. I moved you in a little bit closer. So let's start with a cream shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and use the lighter one of the two. So the one on the very top with this Fenty Beauty brush. And I'm just going to start blending this all over and wow, that is already beautiful. Did you see that? That was so easy. I literally just touched it and applied it. Look at that pigment. This is super pretty. Now just blending everything onto the crease with the same brush. I feel like this is going to be one of those shades that I could literally just apply this all over, blend it out, and then do a little bit of eyeliner and then be out the door with some mascara. This is such a pigmented, beautiful, creamy shadow. I haven't given any thought of what I'm gonna do, so I just knew that I wanted to start with that shadow. So now let's move on to the second lightest of the matte shades. And I am going to use a Makeup by Mario and Sephora brush. And I'm just going to start blending this into my crease just to set that cream shadow. This shadow seems like a very similar tone. Look at that, it looks almost identical to the cream one, but of course in a powder form. So now let's go ahead and try one of the glitter shadows because I am so desperate to touch them and try them. So I have 3 right there on my fingers just swatched. Going back to the first brush, I'm gonna go to this shade up here and I'm just going to start applying this on my lid, but I'm gonna try to concentrate this shade on the first corner of the eye, and this is not translating as good or as pigmented with the brush, so let's go ahead and redo with my finger, and that is much better. This is a very pretty shade, and I kind of got it all over the place, which I didn't want to, but I'm just gonna do all of my lid, and I'm gonna stop right kind of like on the edge, on the corner, so I can use a darker one. I'm gonna go back to the blending brush we used, and I'm just going to blend those edges to make sure there's no harsh lines. And now we're gonna move on to a smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna go for the kind of like middle darker shade, so this one right here. And I'm just going to blend this into the outer V of my eye, right here, the outer edge. Then back again with the original blending brush, just to ensure no harsh lines are left behind. And now I'm gonna just flip that same small blending brush on the other end, and I'm gonna use that same shade that we just used, the darker matte, and I'm gonna blend this shade on my lower lashes. For the sake of using more shadows, let's go to the next one from when we just used. So this one, this is sort of like a duochrome shadow. So I'm just gonna apply that also with my finger in the center of the eye, just tapping it a little bit. That is very pretty shadow. And since this eye ended up looking a little more smoky than I was planning, I'm gonna be doing a little wing line with the eyeshadow. So let's go ahead and use the darker matte shade, and I'm just going to wing it just a little bit. I do have a little bit of fallout, but it's very minimal, not on this side as much, but more in this section. So let's finish up this makeup. It is so pretty. I'm loving this. I feel like it does need an additional lighter shimmering shadow, like for like my inner corner. I feel like this is too golden, but let's go ahead and add it because we don't really have anything else. And yeah, that is too golden for my liking, I'm not gonna lie. To make it a little more smoky, I'm gonna go back into the shade I used as an eyeliner, so the darker matte one, and I'm just going to add this on the very corner of my eye, on the lower lashes, just to bring a little more smokiness into the look. So here is the eyeshadow without the mascara. I know it looks a little bit weird because we don't have any mascara, but I want to show you how the eyeshadows look by itself before we add mascara. So anyway, let me go ahead and step back a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the look, adding mascara, probably something on the lips other than what I already have, and then I'll be right back. All done with the makeup. I didn't really add anything else to my lips. I just had a very nude lipstick on, so I just left that. I feel like the eye look came out a little bit more smoky than I was expecting. Let me get a bit closer so I can show you. I do love all the shades that I used. You saw me applying them. Everything blended so easy, so fast. That cream shadow was very impressive. I feel like the quality of that cream shadow that I used today is way better than the older 2 cream shadows that he used in his first palette. I don't know if the formula changed, but just application was flawless, very pigmented, very creamy, very easy to apply. So I am very happy with that cream one. And like I mentioned at the beginning, I feel like that would be a good shadow to use like as a one on a one eye and done. Super pigmented. I really loved it. I can't really speak for the rest of the shadows because of course I haven't used them. By the time you're watching this video, all I've done so far is just swatching them on my arms on my arm for the video. Everything swatched beautifully, and I feel like once I apply them on my eyes, everything will still be very beautifully and blend very easily. I had no complaints. Quite the opposite with the first palette, so I'm pretty sure this one is gonna be the same. Overall, I think the palette is worth it. It is definitely on the pricier side. It's gonna be $68 plus taxes. I did get it with 20% off, so I'm very happy I did, because I would have probably still wanted to purchase without a discount, but it just fell in the perfect time on Sephora because it was just dropped on Sephora when the sale for the Rouge members started. So I'm very happy that I got it. I believe by the time I'm gonna upload this video, the sale is gonna be over. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna upload this a couple of days after the sale is ended. So I still think that for $68 plus taxes is definitely a good value for your money. Like, you're gonna get your money's worth because the palette is very beautiful. Once again, I haven't tried all of the shades, but just for reference, on the older palette, the number 1, all the shades were very beautiful and I fell in love with the palette immediately. So I'm pretty sure that all of these shades are gonna blend just as pretty, just as easy. So I don't foresee any kind of like bad or dots on the palette. When I swatched them on my arm, everything seemed beautiful. So if you like pink eyeshadows and you don't have a big collection, or even if you do, I feel like you would still enjoy it like I will. Let me know in the comments down below if you picked this palette during the sale or if you are planning on picking it up. I always like to hear from you guys. Anyway, like always, if you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. It's super easy. Just hit this little red button that says subscribe down here, and be sure to also hit the little bell so you're notified every time that I post. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!